For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome back to another show here, another show on CTV Channel 6. The Focus program is called. It's on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on your local Channel 6 or on the web 24/7, 365 days a year. We're glad you're here. We've got very interesting segments once again lined up for you. The three segments today will include Pat O'Connor from the St. Clair Area Chamber of Commerce. Ron Miller has a special guest from St. Clair High School who just received a big award for her education efforts in special education, and one of the teachers. And finally, the ladies from the Daughters of Isabella. They got an annual card party. But let's begin with a friend by the name of Pat O'Connor.
Hi, Paul.
You survived the high holidays, the Irish St. Patrick's Day.
I certainly was singing.
Put all
that
your
evening.
green outfits away.
I did, and I had a good time.
Good. You've got some information about a very active Chamber of Commerce.
We do. The first thing is that I want to encourage people to come and visit the Chamber office. It's directly kitty corner across from the Ackett's restaurant in the plaza. And there's a lot of reasons to come and visit. First of all, we have this beautiful electronic kiosk that you can come in to use. You know, in the olden days when you would go to a travel center and you would get pamphlets.
Yes.
Well, we still have those. But now today, what you do is you would either go online or you would come and use my kiosk, and you just type in there your zip code, and all of a sudden, every place along the thumb, from Algonac all the way up to Port Sanilac, appears, and you can look at places to shop, places to stay, businesses. It's a really neat thing that is provided by bluewater.org. And whenever now people call me at the Chamber and say, you know, what's going on here or there or when, I always direct them to bluewater.org. Because it's just this wonderful website, and it's very current, it's updated regularly. But to go on our kiosk, if you're not real comfortable using your computer or you want a little help, I'm right there to help. And more importantly, the more we use it, the more likely we are to keep it. Does
it print the stuff out?
It does not. I've noticed that people take their cell phones and take a picture of it.
Well, that's a great idea.
It is, and I will even let you use my cell phone if you would like to call someplace. Because the beautiful thing is, like, I want to go to Lexington this summer, and I want to take my granddaughters and go up there and rent a little cabin right on the water for the weekend. You just hit Lexington, places to stay, and all the pictures of the different places pop up, and you can see exactly where they are, and pictures of the interior. It's just really, it's fun. It's fun to use. And I want people to come and visit. And I want them to bring their receipts, because again, we are continuing to promote shop local, keep your money here. Our businesses support all of our charities and our benefits.
They certainly do.
We need to keep that money here at home. It is also where our kids and our family and people come to get jobs, and we hopefully will encourage people to come and live in St. Clair. You and I know what a nice place it is.
Correct.
And we want to encourage people to remember to spend here at home, keep your money here, and let's build a high quality of life here. To complement that, we encourage people to, wherever they're shopping in St. Clair or the surrounding townships, so China, East China, or St. Clair Township, if you spend any money at all and bring your receipt to the Chamber, you put your name and phone number on it, we put it in a bucket, and we draw at the end of the month. I drew today, and this year our promotion is $30 in Chamber bucks. You can spend the Chamber bucks at any one of our Chamber members, and that's most of the town. You can't spend them, oddly enough, at the banks. They're funny about only using their script.
They like the U.S. stuff.
It's against the law, I think. So don't go to the banks with our script, but otherwise you can use it every place else. And that, again, encourages you to go back to the stores. But we really want to encourage people to see all the many places there is to spend money right here in town.
You brought along a little poster.
Yes, I did.
This is a brand new one hot off the press. So
yes, it is.
That's why I'm holding it up. We're going to get a permanent copy of it pretty soon. But this is the beginning story of a beer and wine tasting, not tasting, but a fest, which was held, this will be the second one. It was held last year.
This is the second annual.
Second annual. Very, very, very successful. there were thousands of people in the courtyard.
They actually had to cap it because we didn't know how many we could manage and handle, but it brought in a lot of local and a kind of a younger crowd. You know, a lot of times younger people say there's not a lot for them to do here.
Right.
And so we saw a lot of young people and a lot of people like you and me, Paul, and there was a lot of dancing going on, a great band. We're going to have more food vendors at the next one, but a lot of the very same things that made it very positive before. For one price, you get a roll of tickets, and then you can go to the different kinds of beer stands and wine stands, and there was an alcohol. I think they did vodka. I think we're going to do some kind of tasting of either tequila or vodka or something else. I don't know. I can't go to those tables. I dance too much. So, but it was just so much fun, beautiful. You know, nighttime. It just was the most fun.
It's going to be August the 5th, which is a Friday, from 6:30 on, 7:30 on. But the key is you're selling tickets now, which
right
is
now,
way early.
You can go to the website, and the benefit of going is that early tickets are cheaper. So for the $50 VIP ticket, you can get it for $35 right now.
Oh my God!
And I will tell you the difference between the VIP and the general admission ticket. If you have a VIP ticket, you get to come in first, an hour early, which means you can avoid some of the lines. And there are some beers and wines that only VIPs can
Probably run
use.
out or something.
Yeah, and they're a little higher priced. I can't really attest to that. I don't know the difference between high-priced beers, quite honestly. But the people who do know the benefit. And then general admission, you just come in an hour later, and it really isn't that big a difference, because for some people, they just can't get there on a Friday that early. So I don't want people to think that you lose out if you take a general
I think this is the weekend after the boat races.
It is the weekend after. It's also the weekend that the marina has, on Saturday night, has Mardi Gras. So it's a great weekend to say, I'm going to play in St. Clair that weekend.
I like
Lots
that.
of things.
That's a great advertising
It
slogan.
is. And on Sunday, because we have a close relationship with our sister chambers, we've really reached out, and we're trying to do a lot of things with Blue Water, with Marine City, and with Richmond. I'd like to point out that is Marine City days as well, and so Friday night. Maritime days. So Friday night at St. Clair, Saturday during the day, Marine City, Saturday night at the marina, and Sunday back at Marine City. And you'll have a packed
Well, you'll be tired
weekend.
on Monday.
But you'd have such a good time.
All right, you've got a meeting you've got to run off
I
to,
do.
you said.
I do.
So have we missed anything before you leave?
Nope,
I want you to
nope, that's
come
it.
down and see the kiosk.
Yes, come and see the kiosk, and I'll show you how to use it. It's a lot of fun, and you can plan all kinds of events and vacations and see what's going on. You technically don't have to leave the thumb to have a good time every single weekend.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Totally agree. Pat O'Connor, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you,
Always
Paul.
got a wealth of information about what's going on.
Thank you.
And you have a happy attitude about it. So we appreciate that. Back with Ron Miller from St. Clair High School, and some great news, some things that are going on out there in just a minute. We're back, and we're back with a friend by the name of Ron Miller, the principal
Paul,
of St. Clair High School out there on Clinton Avenue.
Yeah.
You look very dapper today, sir.
Well, I'm
as you always do.
trying to play the role, you know.
Play the role. Play the role. The year is progressing. We are into almost. We're into April.
We're in April, yeah.
And another graduation class will be coming up. Lots of things are going on that are very successful, very exciting at St. Clair High, and we thought we better get you in here to talk about it. Tell me what's happening.
I'm glad to be part of it. Well, I've got a special guest, Linda Ratliff, and I'll get to her accolades in a minute. But I just want folks to know, as we're going into spring break this coming week, coming right out of that, we'll be doing our springtime testing, which is not an exciting thing, but it's certainly a very important item. Schedules
You'd think you'd do that for the kids. You would have done it the other way: had the testing and then take the time off.
Well, the calendars are scheduled years in advance for planning purposes, and the testing has gone through a change with the Department of Ed, and actually the testing date wasn't determined until late summer. So we're kind of just dealing with what it is.
That's right.
That's
called life.
About 3/4 of the high schools in the state are facing the same type of thing. So anyways, when we come back, we'll have Monday, Tuesday, our 11th grade students take the SAT. Wednesday, 9th, 10th, 11th graders will be taking various tests. And then we just resume normal activity from that point on. And I've just emailed out, I guess my reason for talking about this is I've just emailed out today to all the households a schedule, the 3-day testing schedule or the week's testing schedule. And it's got relevant information for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, who comes, who goes, how to get a bus, when lunch is going to be served, what test is going to be
Because that's all
missing.
changed.
Well, it's
Not your normal schedule.
It's a different than the normal schedule, and it's different than last year's testing schedule. So I'm afraid that people have gotten comfortable and feel like they know what the details may be, but I would like to draw their attention to that. So please check your email.
Would that also be affected at Marine City?
Be the same thing there, exactly. They're going to follow the same schedule that we are.
Okay, go ahead.
So another item, which is kind of a cool thing, Mark Eberhard, who you know very well, does lots of things at St. Clair High School. He's absent today, and he's absent tomorrow, but it's not because he's skipping out for spring break. He's a presenter at the National Science Teachers Association Conference in Nashville.
Wonderful.
It'll be like, I think, the 3rd national conference that he's been a presenter in the last couple of years, and I mean, he's got a tremendous skill set and is incredibly knowledgeable, and he brings so much back to the high school from participating at this. And again, he's another guy like me who's been there for a long time, and sometimes folks forget to realize that we're still active in our craft, and he certainly is. So I'd like to draw some attention to that. That's a neat thing that may go unnoticed.
Well, and teachers have had such a tough road for the last 4 or 5, 6 years. Everybody's been down on teaching and down on the industry of education. And it's good to hear that somebody's acknowledging some of it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and even in the midst of tremendous success, we still battle, some
Negativity.
Collective negative perceptions. But again, we provide a good product. We have excellent staff, and it's nice to know that at a national level, we've got people that are being recruited. Michael Volz would be another one who participates in the music industry like that. His wife, Amanda Lipke, getting recognized for the H&R Block, which I think you had a presentation earlier on.
We did. They raised they got awarded $100,000, $120,000.
2 years.
Worth of scholarship.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Right.
So
just amazing things are
and
happening.
it's things like that repeated over and again. It's a result of kids working very hard and following programs, but it's
it's leadership too.
on the part of the teaching staff. And so like Mrs. Ratliff, again, who I'll ultimately get to. Sorry for having you just sitting there, but I just want to make sure those things are out.
Yeah.
Another item. We're getting into spring, but a month ago in the middle of winter, we had a second fundraising event for our athletic championship fund, which basically subsidizes the cost of teams that go to MHSAA tournaments. Knights of Columbus, generous host for that event. Jeff Boehm, again, somebody else that you know, and Darren Pietrkowski and John Jansen all took real major leadership roles in generating money, again, which goes into an account which we can use to subsidize all sporting teams that advance in the MHSAA tournament.
Is this something new?
It's the second time that we've had it. We had some support from Warwater Brewery. They took some of their craft beers out there, and John Jansen's band, the Gobies, performed. And you had your raffles, and it was lots of generous contributions. One of the highlights was Tim Lolito, St. Clair High School graduate, currently playing for the New Orleans Saints. Excuse me, New Orleans Saints. I apologize. His dad constructed a couple large Adirondack chairs, and Timmy Lolito sat in each of them with game-worn jerseys and game-worn cleats, and then autographed them in front of them after people, had bidded the thing up. It was really very, very cool. It's a fun time. The biggest thing is it's fun. It's in the middle of February.
Yeah.
People need the break, but we can subsidize and support our athletes, and again, that's a result of some hard-working people. Related to athletics, lacrosse, a new team this year. We'll have our first lacrosse team for St. Clair High School. We've had a club that's been working with kids for a couple of years.
I've seen them practicing out and back here, behind the studio.
Yep. Their competitions will be at St. Clair Middle School on Yankee Road moving forward. If community members, family members, students are looking for athletic schedules, we have a traditional old school schedule. We're transitioning from one data platform to another. So in the interim, we've got the old school
Piece of paper?
master calendar and a PDF form on the front page of the St. Clair High School website, updated weekly to take care of game cancellation. So that kind of that gets us caught up on some of the general highlights of what's going on at St. Clair High School. But again, I'd like to draw some attention for Mrs. Linda Ratliff, a teacher consultant working with our special ed students at St. Clair High School and St. Clair Middle School. She's actually worked, I believe, in every building in the East China School District at some point in time. She's had a very long and successful career, and rightfully so this year was recognized by the Michigan Council for Exceptional Children as the Teacher of the Year for the state of Michigan.
Congratulations for that first,
Thank you,
Linda, and welcome back to the Focus Set. Talk to us about what the award was, and maybe Ron wants to fill in some more.
No, I mean, it's always hard to talk about yourself, but I mean, one of the things, and I hope that you speak to this, is her involvement with project-based learning. Kids having work experiences. I mean, that's really become your hallmark, in my opinion. So, share some information, would you?
Let's start with you've been a teacher for a long time at East China School District, and all of it has been special ed, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen a lot of changes over the last 20, 25 years of special ed education?
I actually worked in 2 other districts before I came to East China. I've been in East China for 25, and I was in 2 other districts before that, so actually close to 40 years. And yes, a lot of changes. A lot of changes. More identification of different kinds of disabilities than when I first started. We're getting better at identifying students and providing the correct services for them.
And what would the population be on an average year at St. Clair High School or East China Township, East China School District of special ed kids?
At the high school, at our height, when we had more students, we ran about 100.
Wow.
Currently, we're sitting somewhere between 50 and 60.
And
Generally about 10 to 11%.
10 to 11%. And how do you work with them?
Well, as a teacher consultant transition coordinator, my role involves testing. So I'm involved in testing students cognitively and for achievement, and working with other team members to write a report for their eligibility for special education. I often describe my job to my mom and dad, who are like, "What's a teacher consultant?" I say,
Mom and dads are that way, aren't they?
I say problem solver.
Okay.
So I do a lot of problem solving too with my students, working with staff, working with community members, parents, that type of thing, and other professionals that I work with, such as social workers or other specialists like consultants for occupational therapy or physical therapy.
You must have to have a special ability to be able to communicate with your student population, so that you get to become a friend of theirs and they trust you, and you can help and advise them. Talk to me about what kinds of things where you place them or what you do with them.
Well, I work with students in transition, which is getting them ready to transition from being in public education, where they've received a lot of support over their career in school, to going into real life.
Okay.
And so a lot of the focus, there's 4 different areas, but a lot of the focus is getting them ready for employment, getting them ready for work. So in the junior and senior year, in addition to having the opportunity to go into tech, my students can do what's called work-based learning.
Okay.
So I have a network of employers in the community that I've worked with, all the way from Port Huron to Richmond to Algonac and closer, who take my students. Instead of going to tech, they're with them for half a day, and they're in actual situations where they're learning how to work. Anything from working with a veterinarian. I have students who assist in surgery.
Okay.
To working at a heavy equipment repair place.
Wow.
So just a variety of things. It's based on what the students are interested in.
I guess that's the key. You have to determine. You have to find out from them what their interests are, and once you do that, then you can try and line them up with somebody who needs their services.
A lot of times our students struggle with the academic piece, and so they don't have the opportunity that some other students have to try out things in part-time jobs, because they're focusing more on getting the work done. So this allows them that opportunity, and a lot of it is finding out what you think you like that maybe you don't really like. So sometimes it's that, and then we get them switched over to what they really like.
Have you had follow-up on some of these students 5 years later, 10 years later, and to see where they're at?
Yes, I do maintain relationships with a lot of my students. As a matter of fact, when I received the award, I had a student with me that I taught in Lapeer.
Oh my
she
God.
was in my 7th grade classroom, and I think we figured out we've known each other for 23 years.
Isn't that marvelous?
And she went on, she struggled with a learning disability and wanted to go to college, ended up going to community college and got a degree in working with social work, and is actually hired back to Lapeer schools where she started her education.
Isn't that marvelous?
So
So you have all spectrums, autism, other?
yes, you name it, I've worked with it. Yep.
Well, it's dedicated, wonderful work, and we're honored as a community to be able to see you get such a great award.
Thank you.
Ron, it's wonderful.
Oh, she's a gem. I mean, I as I said at the school board presentation when she shared the work-based learning, I mean, I've walked a lot of road with her, and I couldn't have had anybody better helping me out, you know, and working with me. So she's the best.
I
Great.
feel the same way.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
Mr. Miller, anything else we need
Oh, it's
today?
Another great day at St. Clair High School.
There you go. There you go. As John Davison, the cross-country coach, another day, great day to run.
Yeah, another great day for a run.
Run. We'll be back with the ladies from the Daughters of Isabella. They got a big card party and luncheon coming up. Hear all about that in a second. One of the bright signs of spring is when the ladies in red come from the Daughters of Isabella, because that means that it's card party and luncheon time. Let's welcome back to the set Ruth Ann LaPearl. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
And welcome Charlotte Foley, the Chancellor. And down on the end, we've got Gwen Stewart. Gwen, have you been here before?
Yes, I have.
That's what I thought. Who is this year the kitchen chairperson, most important part of the whole day.
Definitely.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Charlotte, who's going to start, Ruth Ann or Charlotte?
Go ahead, Charlotte.
Okay, well, we have a wonderful kitchen person here. The chickens that we make, the chicken salad is just incredible. I think sometimes people just come for the chicken salad, but they love to play the cards too. So, and it's really for a good cause.
Let's start with from the top and say when is the date and where is the location?
The date, here we go. Tuesday, April 19th, and it's 12:30 to 4 at the KSC Hall on King Road in Marine City. Lunch includes chicken salad, assorted fruit, nuts, bread, beverages, homemade desserts.
Oh.
Oh, wonderful homemade desserts.
I'll be there for that.
All right, that's good. So, and the donation's $12.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
bad.
But that includes the raffles, and we have raffles.
Chinese auction.
Chinese auctions,
Yeah.
50/50s,
A little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Ruth Ann said she's been at all 66 of the annual.
I try to get to 66.
Oh, okay. Talk to me, ladies, about Daughters of Isabella. What do you do with the money? What is the group?
We're a Catholic women's organization. We've been around for quite a few years.
At least 66.
Oh, even more than that. But anyways, we do charitable works, and we range from, we work at, we support Ronald McDonald House,
Yep.
Blue Water Pregnancy, St. Vincent de Paul, People's Clinic for Better Health, and our workers, our members, they work at all levels. They work for civic clubs, they work for Downriver Helping Hands, Ronald McDonald House, St. Clair River District Hospital, you know, volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the volunteers at River District Hospital are Catholic D of I members.
How many members do you normally have an average? How
We
many?
have, right now, I think it's 98 members.
Oh, that's pretty large.
Yes, yes, and we've had.
So many of the charitable groups are having such difficulty finding new members, but you guys appear not to have that problem.
We do have that problem. I mean, we do need some of the younger people to come in, but the ladies that have been in it have stayed in it and just done a wonderful job.
That speaks well of the group.
Yes, yes.
Speaks well of the group. I want to come down to the end and talk to Gwen, because you can't run a kitchen all by yourself. You've got to have a
No.
pretty good committee.
Yes, well, I have a right-hand person that helps me organize and shop and everything that we need to do beforehand. And then the day of, there's at least probably half a dozen or more on Monday cooking and preparing food. And then the day of, there's at least a dozen in the kitchen, chopping, cutting, making plates.
How many meals would you probably average?
Probably about 180 plates.
Oh my God, that's pretty good.
Yes. We buy about 80 pounds of chicken. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, so it takes a while to prepare. And then we have all fresh fruit. That all has to be cut and chopped and put on a plate, and everything looks beautiful when they get their plate. It's then we have homemade zucchini bread that somebody makes and donates. His name's Andy Markle. He's been doing it for how many years? His wife was doing it, and then when she passed, he continued in her
Wasn't
stead.
that wonderful?
Yeah, so she was a member of our group. And everybody in our group helps make pies and cakes, and we used to just do pies. Now we do a variety because not everybody's a pie baker. And but we all have, it's all homemade. It's wonderful.
So you prepare everything right there at the KFC?
At the KFC.
Nothing's prepared off-site, maybe the
Oh,
pies?
except for the pies,
and cakes.
except for the desserts, right?
Okay, and brought in.
Yep.
So now talk to me about the card party portion of it. That is notorious.
Well, we furnish cards for those who want to play cards, but if you're not a card player, you're welcome to bring any kind of game in that you want.
Oh, really?
Yes. And you
Scrabble or anything else?
anything you want.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We have, 4 people at a table, so whatever you want to do, it's up to you. And men are welcome. It's not just for women.
Okay.
We have husbands coming in with their wives, and we have other men who just like to play cards. They
Right,
get together
yeah.
and they get a table and they have just as much fun
They have
as
lunch
we do.
too?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Oh,
oh yes.
yes.
They have lunch and they play cards and they just have a good time.
Okay.
And the local priests come, and so, if you're a gentleman, if you want to come along.
Give me the dates and the time, and how do I get tickets?
All righty. Well, all of us are selling tickets, so any Daughter of Isabella, and it's going to be Tuesday, April 19th at 12:30 to 4 will be. And if you need to call, we have, in fact, new business cards, which I'll give you when we're done,
Okay.
but you can give a call. Oh, there she goes. She's got one.
Okay.
And you pick up your tickets. I think they're more at the door. Is it, or is it the same?
No, it's no.
It's just
You
12
can
straight
buy,
up?
you can buy at the door.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Buy
Yeah.
at the door, too.
Okay, but you don't go to Sweet Tooth or anybody else to get a ticket?
No.
No.
It has to be from the members.
But we are having a raffle if you can't make the card party but would like to buy a raffle ticket, because our first prize is, what, do you remember?
A brand new Cadillac.
Was it,
Yeah.
700? I don't remember. All money prizes.
Right.
And you can buy, we will be selling raffle tickets at the local supermarkets. I believe it's going to be Food Depot the weekend before the card party.
Right.
And Friday
Neiman's.
and Neiman's Market.
Right,
I
right
believe.
next to the Girl
Maybe
Scouts.
this coming, or in 2 weeks. But if you can look for us for our raffle tickets at the local
Grocery store.
supermarkets.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
And if
And
you
they
just
won't
want-
miss you because you got your red coats.
That's right.
That's right. But if you can't make the card party, would still like to help us out, that would help us out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ladies, it's always a pleasure, and as I said at the top, this always means that spring's around the corner when we see you guys.
Yes.
So we thank you for coming to
thank
bring
you for
spring
having
back.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, oh, it's always a pleasure.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next week, I'm Paul Dingerman. See you soon.